Hello. I had a couple of sessions today, and that was pretty wonderful. And I have an opportunity to go see a sister down in New Orleans. So I'm going to be leaving tomorrow morning, and from there going to take a trip down to Cozemel and then the Yucatan. And I thought that I would do a post today to talk about why I wasn't going to be on the channel. But you know what? I was thinking, well, wait a second. Am I going to need connections in order to at least do posts? I'll probably do some posts. And then I thought, well, there's the fact that it's Thanksgiving, and I do have something to offer that is fairly brief regarding gratitude, genuine, deep, heartfelt gratitude. And it does lend itself to the discussion around abundance versus scarcity that I still intend to do. And, the hesitancy to that is I know how involved that discussion is, and the question about being able to get through it is what's been holding me up. But in any case, let me share something with you. During the first 6 years of my recovery, 2000 to 2006 approximately, I was very diligent about making sure that I did 20 minutes of meditation every morning to connect to everybody, everything, spirituality, my recovery. This was the work that I did of turning life and will over to higher power. And then in the evening, before I go to bed, I would do a gratitude meditation, 20 minutes, every single day for the first 6 years of my recovery, with the few exceptions of, let's say, I was sick or overly tired or whatever other excuse or reason that I had for not doing it. But that would amount to maybe, let's just throw a number out there, 20 times a year, perhaps, that I didn't do daily meditation, or one of the two. And the reason that I share this, listen, like a lot of people, the idea of gratitude wasn't something that I had, like as part of my makeup. I was grateful whenever somebody did something nice to me, but not the general gratitude, the gratitude. Listen, here's what I'm saying. When one does this work and works on focusing on things to be grateful for, well, after about the first 3 minutes, you run out of things, or I would run out of things to be grateful for, meaning, you got a job, you got your health, you got perhaps a decent relationship, whatever it is, and now there's all this other time to fill. Well, when one does that, then I started to become deeply grateful for indoor plumbing and light bulbs, and I have these machines that will wash my clothes. I don't have to go down to the river and bang my clothes on rocks or whatever it is that they used to have to do, or stumble outside in the middle of the winter to go to the bathroom because there's indoor plumbing. I mean, just the idea of having enough food is a fairly new development in the world, and it is certainly not uncommon, even in this day and age, for people to be starving or not have enough food. And most of the people who are listening to this can go to their refrigerator or their cabinet at any time, and I know I can, and get all the food that we want. And boy, this is no small thing. You know, people would have to go without food, for example, on a fairly regular basis. And you know, when one focuses on how wonderful we really have it, the fact that it's freezing outside and I'm nice and warm and in a t-shirt, I got a fire behind me, you know, when we focus on these things over and over and over. I did this post before about the grandfather of every action being thought. Well, because when we think about something and we think about it enough times, then what happens is we create new neural pathways, and this is no small thing. It's not about being having faith that this will happen. This is science. It will happen. If a person decides to do gratitude meditations on a regular basis, then it is impossible for that person to not have at least more gratitude in their life. You know, if not, and it is likely that they will create neural pathways where what you live in is gratitude. So I really do feel as though I am grateful almost all of the time, even, well, okay, maybe not recently with the events that happened, but certainly over the course of time. You know, I mean, look, I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that I've turned the corner. Yeah, I mean, there are things that I do have to be grateful for, even with this episode, is what I'm saying. But certainly, it was recognizable that for me, when I did this on a regular basis, how different my outlook was, how much I would walk in gratitude all of the time. You know, if the computer isn't working well, you know, it's quite remarkable that we get pissed off because of this miracle of engineering and technology, you know, does something that takes too long, or, you know, we lose email. I'm guilty about getting PO'd about that. But then I do my work to remind myself, well, yeah, but I didn't have to write this thing by hand and lose it, you know, in that manner. So anyway, I may be kind of beating the horse to death at this point, but the point is, if one does the work of gratitude, then not only is it something that we can expect to change our outlook, but it's also a very, very serious indicator of how mentally healthy we are. If you have depression in particular, and you start doing this work, you will see that your depression is at least lessened. I'm not going to say it's going to take depression away automatically, but I'll bet you in a lot of instances it will. And at the very least, it will be diminished, is pretty much a guarantee in my opinion. So I'm grateful that I'm feeling well enough to go to New Orleans tomorrow and then take a quick jaunt down to Mexico, and if I don't post before then, I'll certainly see you when I get back. All right. Adios, amigos.